What's going on, guys? This is another Cowboy One Take, and this is directed to Doc Dark 1985. There's levels to this. Doc is my guy. For any of you Doc Dark fans, please don't come run up in my chat trying to defend Doc. Doc and I are friends, so I can talk about my friend. But Doc, I want to get to your take and why PC would be the way to go for gaming. I know recently you're trying to get your kids into PC, and that's great because if you guys are all under one platform, one person buy a game, you all get to share it. All of that is great. Here's my thing. I give PC the credit for the power. I know your son been playing Doom the Dark Ages and upwards of 200 plus frames. I can imagine that has to look great. Now, I've played games on PlayStation at 120. They look good too, right? As far as the frames. But I think PC is not for me. And PC isn't the way to go for gamers, especially if you're a console guy. I think the one thing you get out of console, which you yourself say all the time, you get that simplicity. You get that you sit down, you press play, and you start playing. And that's really it. Yeah, you could change performance to quality, and you could take off motion blur, or you could change the sound. But other than that, you're sitting down, pressing play or pressing power, and then you're going to play. And I think that is always going to be a deciding factor over PC. Again, now, if you're a tinkerer and you're the person that doesn't mind, like look at you, Doc, you're getting into PC, but I don't know if you're getting into PC as far as building a PC, something blows in your PC, and then you got to replace it and fix it. I would love to know what would happen if you had to do that, and your money just wasn't the supplement of fixing something, right? You didn't just go out and buy a new PC or get gifted a PC, but you actually had to fix a PC, replace a motherboard, replace the graphics card, just do something that would take some actual detail and work. And I do know you said maybe this would be cool for your son. He could grow up learning how to build PCs, but just think about it. Being able to do all of that stuff, that could be like a college course itself. Gaming, again, if you grew up doing, console gaming, that's simplicity at its finest. Plug and play is a thing. So other than the high frames, and you yourself said it, for something like ray tracing, it's almost like you don't even notice it. Like I watched one video that said, no, you can see the difference with the PS5 Pro. Go to this one game, make sure it's raining, stand in the puddle, look and see the drips. Dude, if I got to do all that, like, if you can't walk in my house and at your house you have a PS5 and my house I got a PS5 Pro, if you don't walk in and be like, oh snap, I got that game, I never noticed that. I don't think that's going to happen. And that's kind of my point with PC. Other than the frames looking great, right, making the movement look a lot better, I don't know if it's worth it for the hassle of the tinkering, because at some point something is going to go on that PC. And when it does, you're either buying a whole new one, and if you got a really good PC like your $2,000 PC, that's $2,000. And then even replacing or fixing something isn't going to be cheap. So I think the simplicity over the tinkering is always going to win. Now, if we get the games, I've never heard somebody go crazy and rave over a PC exclusive. Unless you were a PC guy. I don't know many console people that's rushing the PC to play a PC game. I always say, show me a trailer or convince me that this is a must-play game. Let me see a trailer where I say, oh my God, I have to play that PC game. I don't think that game exists for me. So again, console, I think, is your way to play. Whether you get your Xbox and you're able to, use Game Pass, whether you get your PlayStation and you got all those exclusives, the lack of excuses nowadays because PlayStation just isn't coming out with games. But if you get these consoles or you get a Nintendo Switch where you could go on the go, I think console is where it's at when it comes to gaming. And I think PC is great for the tinkerers, is great for people who've been in the PC when they was kids, but just trying to transform somebody from console to PC, I don't know. And even your son, Doc, he said one of the main reasons he doesn't play PC and for the multiplayer is because PC are the land of cheaters, all the crazy stuff you could do on PC. You try to use a controller versus a mouse and keyboard, it's a wrap. You're not getting around that as fast as a mouse and keyboard. You can't turn and aim your analog faster than somebody can move their hand with the mouse, stop, click, boom, you're shot in the forehead. So I just think online play, like your son said, is even a key benefactor for playing on console. And at that point, why even say I want to play one-player games on PC? Doc, even your son said when it comes to single-player games, he doesn't need the frames to be that high. So I'm like, wait, he said, sorry, let me take that back. He said when it comes to online games, he doesn't need the frames to be that high. So he won't play Grand Theft Auto 6 story mode unless it's 60 frames, but he'll easily play the multiplayer at 30. And I'm like, so he won't play a game unless it's 60 frames, but he clearly will. So, because once you beat a story mode, what you're going to play infinitely longer is going to be the multiplayer. So if you're willing to play the multiplayer at 30, but not the story at 60, that's a bad look, and that actually, debunk I won't play a game at 30, because you're playing more of the game at 30. But anyway, guys, I just kind of want to jump in there and tell you, this is why you stick to console. This is why the console is the king of gaming, and it will outbeat PC any day. Yes, the frames is going to be high and amazing. You're going to see water drops and shadows, but you're not going to be able to sit down, get that die-hard focus on your console's gameplay. Because I've seen many people stream, and let's use my guy Vet Rage Gaming, I like to call him. I've watched his streams, him streaming on PC, and it turns to like a technical showcase where you're just like, bro, you ever gonna start the game? Because he's trying to figure out why the sound isn't coming through and why the lights isn't working in the back and the shadows. And I'm just like, at this point, I would have been halfway through the game. But anyway, guys, that's my thoughts. I want to see what your thoughts are. I see you in the next one. And with that being said, and now your mama knows. Oh, man.
I'll make you famous.
Because I'm a cowboy! Oh, man!
And now, your mama knows.